Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Haley and I thought today maybe I could do a Q&A because on my TikTok and even on some of my other videos you guys have asked some questions about being a dialysis tech. So I thought I could just answer them in one video from my TikTok to YouTube, and then I even made a TikTok asking to comment questions, and so that's just what I'm gonna do today. Also, it's rainy outside, so I thought the best place I could do this was in my car, so that's what we're doing. We're in the car, and I just took a shower, so let's just watch my hair dry throughout this video. Okay, so I'm gonna start this with the question of how I became a tech. And it's kind of funny because my mom is a tech. She works at where I work, and she kind of got me the job, but that's not always the case. I mean, yeah, it helped me a little bit, but I mean, anyone can apply, and all you need is you need to be 18 and you need a high school diploma, and that's all you need. And you go through, you can apply on Indeed, or you can just go to whichever DaVita you want and ask for an application, but mainly you can just apply online. Just literally just look it up, whatever facility you want to look at or work at, so you can do it that way. But back to the original question of how I became a tech was because my mom is a tech, and she knows the original FA. So the person who is in charge of all the clinics. And so basically I just applied to anyone, and honestly you could do that too. Just apply to any of them, and after that they will call you and they'll just ask a series of basic questions of why do you want to become a tech or work at whichever place, and do you have experience? And for me it was no. So yeah, they just ask you a bunch of questions, and then they tell you which clinic you're gonna go to, and you're gonna have an interview. And it's kind of scary. At mine they do panel interviews, so there are 3 or 4 people in the room questioning you and asking you questions. But in mine, thankfully, so only 2 people were in my interview questioning me, asking me questions. Literally only lasted 5 to 10 minutes. They just ask you why you want to become a tech, and just where you went to high school, if you're going to college, are you going to be doing college classes, are you going to need time off, how you're going to do it all. And that's basically it. I mean, even my cousin applied, and she said those are the questions they asked her, and how much you want to get paid, and where you previously worked, and if you don't have experience, that's okay. Just tell them that you're willing to learn, and you can especially say you can work in fast-paced workplaces, because it is definitely fast-paced and they definitely want to hear that. So yeah, so then you do your interview, and then if they like you, which they most likely will because they need people, so they'll call you and they will tell you a couple days after, and they'll tell you where you're gonna be shadowing, because in the interview you talk about which clinic you want to work at and which one's closest and all that stuff. And so then that clinic FA or whatever, she'll call you and she'll be when can you come and shadow? And then when you go and shadow, you go and you basically just follow around the techs that are on the floor, and to see what they're doing, and just to see if you like it and you want to do it, because it's a lot of work. So you can basically ask any of the text questions, ask them you know, any questions that you want. And then after that, you're like out there for like an hour or however long your clinic wants you to be out there. And then you go talk to your FA about basic questions like, do you like it? Do you want to continue? And yeah, basically that. If you have any more questions, you ask them, and then they'll probably just tell you your start date after that. And then you start, and then you have to do 3 months of paid training, and you do star learnings for 3 months. You're training and learning how to be a tech, and then you're on and off the floor, like you're doing computer work, and then you're also you're on the floor too. So it's like half and half. And then after those 3 months, you take a theory test, and that theory test, basically, if you pass it, you can be on your own. Where I'm at, I've been there for 10 months, and so now I have my CCHT test, which is my certification test, and you take that at 18 months. And if you don't pass it, then you can't be out on the floor. And you basically have 18 months to take it. By the 18th month, on the day, if you haven't passed the test, then you can't be out on the floor. But that doesn't mean like they fire you or anything. It just means you can't work until you pass that test. And normally it takes like a couple weeks to get into that class, or that test, I mean. And so like a month after that whole thing, a couple weeks after, you may not have a job or be working for a couple hours, or you may not be working for a couple weeks until you pass that test. But after you pass that test, then you're certified in that state. And if you want to like float or anything or work in another state, you have to pass that test for that state. So like, say I want to go to like Arizona or something, I have to pass that test to work in Arizona. So, but I know, because I live in Illinois, so I know that if I wanted to work in like Wisconsin or something, that Illinois and Wisconsin, I think, don't quote me on it, I think I don't have to take another test to work in Wisconsin. So that's good for me if I wanted to like travel or something to Wisconsin and like live there or something. I don't have to retake the test. Okay, so the next question is, how much money? So it depends on the region and the state and all that stuff. But I know in my region, they start off at $15. But I asked for more, and you can always ask for more, and you also get raises. So like once I pass that theory test, you do get a raise, and then once you hit your annual, you get a raise, and then once I pass that CCHT test, I get a raise. So it's not like, you know, you stay at 15 forever. But yeah, that's basically the pay. That's just for my region and state, so it could be different in different states. I got a question asking, how many chairs are at my clinic? At my clinic, there is 12, but ours is kind of like a small unit, but I know there is a clinic in my region that has 8. There's also one that has 24, or 25, I mean. So it depends. It literally depends on the clinic and all that stuff, how many chairs there are. But mine's a pretty small clinic, and they have 12, and it's pretty manageable with 12. Next question is, any tips? Well, for applying in the interview process, basically just say, my one tip is basically just to say that you can work in fast-paced workplaces, because that is what they're looking for. They're looking for someone who can pick up fast and, you know, learn fast. So definitely say that. Don't be nervous. I know that's like hard, but don't be nervous. Everyone's nice. I mean, yeah, there may be that one person that's a little mean, but yeah, most of them are nice, so don't be nervous. Most people, when they become techs, don't have experience. I didn't have experience. No other tech at my clinic had previous experience from when they started here. So don't be nervous. Nobody knows what they're doing when they first start, so literally it's no big deal, because everybody, even though they may be mean to you about it and like, oh, how did you not know that? Like, they've been there and they know that. So I know when someone new started at my clinic and they did something, I wasn't mad at them, because it's like I was just there and I experienced that, and it's like nobody knows what they're doing. So when they first start, it's all new and it's a lot to learn. So yeah. Next question is, did I have any other career paths that I'm thinking of? For right now, I'm 20, so I just kind of want to get my foot into the medical field and like just experience something in that depths. So I'm still working on my associates, but I have been thinking of like possibly PA or being ultrasound tech, or possibly radiology. I don't know, or nursing. I really don't know. Those are like my 4 things right now. Next question is, do you really use your stethoscope? Yes, I do. Literally every day we're supposed to listen to every person's access. We're supposed to listen to hear if it is clotted, if we can still hear it flowing, and everything. And my FA gets mad when she sees us not using our stethoscopes to listen to a patient, and she even tells us literally like once a week that to make sure that we're using them. So yeah, I use it every day, probably about like 30 times a day. It is used. Okay. And then the next question I got off my TikTok was, and it's called like the Payu book bag. I don't know. It's on Amazon and it's on my TikTok. Yeah, everything is on my TikTok. So yeah, those are all the questions that I got about my job and about being a dialysis tech. I hope that answered some of your questions, and if you guys have more and you guys want me to make like another video, put the comments down below of any questions or anything. And also check out my TikTok where I got these questions from. I'll probably put that in the bio, and on the end that might be my TikTok and my Instagram if you want to go check that out. But yeah, that is that, and those are all the questions I got. So yeah, bye guys. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. Also ignore my lip, please. Yeah, bye guys.